Good morning, everyone. We have a beautiful week of data. We have done $1,041,000 in volume over the last 7 days, and we've done this at a P&L of 126, which is something that I'm definitely happy with. I've said it before, but if you can do a million in volume for below 160, that's quite good. If you can do it for around $100, that is fantastic. Let's jump into today's episode to find out how our Workhorse is performing. Let's look a little bit at the bots that we're running on Extended as well as Paradex. So we got a lot of interesting data to take a look at today. Let's jump into it. All right, just quickly as we can see, $1,041,000 in volume at 126 P&L. This is hopefully going to give us roughly 300 points from Paradex, which is something that we're very happy with. We've seen this for a couple of weeks, that for roughly a million in volume, you get roughly plus or minus 300 points. They are going to start prioritizing open interest, so we're going to start running a bit more tests on the delta neutral strategy mid to end of week. But first, let's jump in and see how we've been able to produce this incredible performance. So here, if we look a little bit at the raw data, we can see as usual, I add a bit of a column for volume to make it even clearer. And then we're going to save Extended a little bit to the end because I've run quite a lot of experiment on Extended as well. So we can take a look at that. But looking at Paradex, we can see that we've run the BTC market maker, the ETH and the SOL. And I'm quite sure that the ETH and SOL, let me just double check, were scalpers. SOL was a scalper, ETH was a market maker V2, sorry. And the AAVE one we stopped quite quickly because it was producing quite bad results, so that's not going to be included in this one. But let's have a look at the SOL scalper, the MMv2 for ETH, and then my absolute workhorse, the BTC 2 bips one. So we can see that the BTC 2 bips one has, it's incredible. It's done $292,000 in volume since Friday. It would have done a bit more because I did pause it yesterday night because I thought it was a bit of a discrepancy on the data. So we can actually see that if we look at the last 24 hours of volume, we can see that roughly at 10 p.m. until this morning 9 a.m. I did pause it. That was a mistake by me. I misread the data, and as I exported the data and made it a bit of a better analysis, I realized my mistakes. I turned it back on straight away, and we can see that the volume has just started pumping since I turned it back on. So let's not gatekeep. Let's look exactly at what configurations I'm running on this workhorse because it is incredible. So it's $100 trade size. I'm doing the 2 bip spread. The max inventory SKU is 5 bips. Have a look at this one because I think on the market maker V2 it is at 50. Same with the spread. So when you set up the market maker V2, you're going to see that the spread, I think, is automatically put at 3 as the lowest. I'm just going to do this now to show so that you guys can do this one if you want to. Exactly. So if you do the volume farming one, it's going to be the best preset for the MMv2 if you want to recreate this. And then what you need to do is that you need to open it up, click the settings. And here you can see that the spread is at 6. You can bring it down to 3 using the presets. Otherwise, you need to open up the advanced parameters. And this is where I would put 2 and change the inventory SKU to 5. Now you're essentially replicating, sorry, we also need to change this to 10 seconds. So this is how you would change the MMv2 to essentially run like the market maker or MMv1. So 2 bips in spread, 5 bips in inventory SKU, 10 seconds order refresh rate, and then kill switch, I actually think it's at 100 on the MMv1. And then saving that, you would essentially have the market maker version 1, but with the MMv2 configs. So if you want to run that on extended, for example, or something like that, where you don't have the Market Maker version 1, that's how you would set up the... And now I didn't save it, of course. Did I? Let's save. Just want to make sure. Exactly. And then you can see that the bips, the spread changes. So we can just double check to make sure that that is the exact config. So we can see here exactly $100 trade size, 2 bip spread, 5 bips inventory skew, 10-second refresh interval, and then the kill switch. I mean, it shouldn't affect trading, but the kill switch is at 100. So as we can see, like this is the workhorse, and it's doing 1 million in volume extrapolated at $97. I've said it before, anything around $100, I'm super happy with. Anything below $100 is absolutely fantastic. We can also see that it's doing an incredible jobs on the fills, which is actually a little bit surprising because the refresh interval is so tight. It's only 10 seconds, but it's getting incredible fills. Over 3,000 in that period is incredible, averaging over 1,000 fills per day. We can see though that the ETH wasn't the best. It was doing quite high cost extrapolated at 1 million. It wasn't doing that much volume, so we can see that the actual cost was only $15. Same for the Sol one. The actual cost is just $8, but extrapolated to 1 million, it is definitely on the more expensive side. So these two I won't be starting up now. I might be doing a wider spread using the MMv2, because then you also get the dynamic, right? So I would probably look at something like that if I were to relaunch them. But the Workhorse performing absolutely incredible. Hopefully I've shown you guys how you can set it up, both of course on the extended, on Paradex. You can of course just set up the Market Maker V1 as is. So just to share this one again, on Paradex, you could just do preset configs and then tight spread, and there pretty much you have it. You might need to change the refresh interval. No, exactly, it's perfect. That's literally, this is it. So on Paradex, you can use the preset configs. You can launch it just like I've shown here, and that should work out of the box. And if you want to run the Market Maker V1 on extended, I've shown you how to do that using the MMv2 setup. You need to go into the advanced settings and change it manually, but you can definitely do it. So let's have a little bit look at extended, because I've done quite a lot of experiment over the weekend on extended, and I definitely need to run more, but we can already see a little bit of interesting data. So on extended, we actually have SUI that is doing, SUI and ASTER that is doing the best. So these are all, let me just double check so that I'm not lying to you guys. Let's look at all of them. Most of these, okay, so these are actually Scalper. We can see that it's a combo of Scalper and Market Maker V2. So the BTC, this is an exact copy of the M1, my workhorse on Paradex. So we can see that the workhorse on Paradex doesn't do at all as well on extended. So I want to find my workhorse on extended as well, so that I can farm that as efficiently as I'm farming Paradex. And it might not be that it's BTC that is the way to do it on extended. Currently, I'm seeing the best results from SUI and from ASTER. They're doing, they would do 1 million in volume at 166 to 190. That's still a little bit too high for my taste. I want to bring that down. But I need to continuously play with these configs to sort of find the sweet spot. But SUI and ASTER, as we can see, are both, SUI is a scalper, and I think ASTER is a scalper as well. So I'm going to continue the SUI and ASTER. And then I want to fine tune the BTC Market Maker 1 to see what I can tweak to get better results there. It might also just need more data, because as we can see on extended, we're actually in the green today. So we've just done 7,000, but I literally just started the bots again after the weekend's experiment. This is maybe 1 or 2 hours of data. So we're at 7,000. Very interested to see what that is at tomorrow. And we're at a positive P&L of $1.1. So we're absolutely not complaining on that. And currently, these are the ones that I'm running, right? So just to show again, if you want to do the Market Maker V1 on extended, you're going to need to use the MMv2 setups, go into the advanced parameters, and then change the spread to 2, so 2 bips spread, inventory skew 5 bips, and then order refresh rate 10 seconds, kill switch at 100 bips. Very intrigued to see how that one is going to be performing over the next 24 hours. And then ASTER and SUI are doing quite nice on the scalper. We're going to see how they do over the next 24 hours as well. But these are the preset configs. So this is just the high volume one. So if you go scalping momentum, and then if you do, we're just going to do test, we're just going to put in SUI so that we can see the setup, but it's the same on both of them. So preset configs, and then I do the fast pace scalper. So you can see that the take profit and stop loss is at 0.1% on these ones. And that is exactly what we have here. So these are preset configs running out of the box. It's going to be super interesting to see how they perform. But yeah, as we can see, the ETH, the SOL, super expensive ones if we were to continue to run them. So them I paused straight away. The BTC one I want to continue to experiment with, because that is performing the third best. The AERO one I did pause because, let me just double check. Yeah, the AERO one I did pause because it was a little bit on the high end for my taste. As I said before, like, I want to get these to at maximum 160 per 1 million in volume, ideally around the 100 mark. Let's see how these and the Paradex ones are performing. And again, tomorrow, we're really scaling up the testing. I would also highly recommend, currently we are going to join, there is a competition between Pacifica and Extended for the next 10 days starting today on the 8th of December. We have Extended integrated. It's still very early on. We're testing out the integration ourselves, so do proceed with caution. But if you want to earn a bit of extra points from Extended, I could highly recommend starting to experiment with both the scalpers and the MMv2 on Extended, because for the next 10 days, you could be earning a bit of extra points. You do need to register to get these extra points. We're going to do a Twitter post on it that is going to go out during the afternoon, so that you have a direct link to the forum so that you can register and participate in the trading competition and earn some extra points. Until tomorrow, all the best, people.